Hola, soy yo, Vicky, otra vez. Aquí estamos otra vez celebrando el año nuevo. Vamos a 2022. So here we are again, celebrating New Year. We're going into the year 2021. 2022. We're saying goodbye to the year 2021. So, adiós 2021, hola 2022. Otra vez, claro que tengo cava para celebrar. Feliz año. Okay, so in this video, we're going to look at some of the traditions, the Spanish traditions, the vocabulary of New Year in Spain, what they do, how we actually translate what they do. Okay, so first thing, número uno, muy importante, es comprar, hay que comprar ropa interior roja. So, if you haven't got any, si no tienes, hay que comprar. You need to buy some red underwear. You should notice in most of the stores, you know, there's lots of red. You're probably thinking, why is everyone wearing red underwear or buying red underwear? And it's supposed to bring good luck for New Year. So, ropa interior roja, muy importante. Si no la tienes, hay que comprar. Now, of course, another thing that's very important, just put these, are the 12 uvas verdes. So the 12 green grapes. Now, they must be green, okay? You shouldn't use black grapes or purple grapes or any other colour. They should be green. 12 uvas verdes. Now, notice this year, in a lot of the supermarkets, I got mine in Mercadona, they're doing these very handy little tubs, which have got 12 grapes in. They've been seeded, they have no seeds, and they're not too big either, because what I normally do is when I buy the grapes, I pick out 12 of the smallest grapes, the seedless grapes that I can, because they're quite difficult. You're supposed to eat one for every chime of the bell at midnight. So when the clock strikes, which we're going to look at their equivalent, if you like, of Big Ben, we have Big Ben and we watch Big Ben chiming. In Spain, it's in Madrid, the Puerta del Sol. But anyway, we'll look at that later. And you take one grape for each chime, and each grape you take brings you a year of luck, if you manage to eat it. Now, be careful, because there have been accidents, especially with children, trying to swallow these grapes, because obviously and they try and eat it quickly. You've literally only got the time that the chime goes to chew it up and eat it, so you haven't got much time. But anyway, las uvas de suerte, the grapes of luck. And I think these are lovely. I really do think they're lovely. So that's your 12 uvas verde, and you should then be washing those down with a glass of cava. Cheers. Salud. Which, of course, leads to my next one, which is número 3, champán. Yes, you can use champagne, of course, but cava is the Spanish equivalent to champán. A lot of Spanish people, they drink sidra, cider, that you get that comes in the bottle similar to the cava bottles. But yes, that's a popular and cheap alternative. But to be honest, cava is so cheap. I think you're better off going for the cava, really. Sidra, for me, it's not something that I like. But a lot of young Spanish people, they will have sidra because it's a lot cheaper, basically. So, but champagne, if you're feeling like splashing out, of course, the best thing to have is champagne. Okay, and yes, so then everybody's eyes will be on El Reloj at the Puerta del Sol in Madrid, in the square, the big square in Madrid, the Plaza Mayor, the big square, basically, that means. And that is exactly in the centre of Madrid, incidentally. I don't know if you knew that, but Madrid is in the centre of Spain. And apparently, La Plaza Mayor is exactly in the centre of Spain. So everybody will either be there, be in their local town, looking at the town clock there, or watching it on the telly, whatever they happen to be doing. And for each chime of the 12 chimes, they will have one uva. I notice on here they're calling them ciruelos. Because they're from Peru. That's why I'm thinking, why are they calling them ciruelos? Yeah, well, if you do buy one of these, you might notice on the back it says ciruelo, but they're from Peru, so that must be what they call them in Peru. So there you go, South American Spanish. So, yes, all eyes will be on El Reloj and the Puerta del Sol in Madrid. Now, then it's very important after midnight, the first step you take should be using el pie derecho. You should be, I see how you're being treated to my fantastic drawings again. The first step you take should be with your right foot, because you have to get off on the right foot or in a good footing. So wherever you're standing when you finished having your grapes, as you set off, it should be from your right foot for good luck. Another thing that is good luck on New Year's Day, there's not really a traditional meal that you would have on New Year. I think at Christmas and New Year there's a lot of mariscos, they eat a lot of seafood. I don't think there's a specific food except for this sopa de lentejas. So that's lentil soup, and in it will be chorizo, carrots, vegetables. It's a lovely soup, actually, quite substantial and filling. And that is, the lentils represent coins, so that's supposed to bring you financial prosperity for the rest of the year, whichever year it is. So that's it, more or less. What are you doing for New Year? ¿Qué haces para Año Nuevo? Let me know in comments what you're doing. I'd be interested to know what you're doing. Obviously COVID's still around, so it's difficult to party like maybe we would have in what feels like long distant past times. But yeah, certainly here in Spain, the restrictions, we are allowed to celebrate New Year, so I expect people will be out celebrating New Year. There may be some fuegos artificiales, there might be some fireworks, which I don't like, only because my dogs don't like them, but they look pretty, I know. Okay, so let's just go back through the traditions. Don't forget to buy your ropa interior, roca. Don't forget to buy your red underwear. No olvides tus uvas verdes. Don't forget your green grapes, which you can either cheat like this and buy these, as I have. They're lavadas y sin semillas, so they're washed and they've got no seeds, so they're ready to take. Or you could do another cheat. I do, as I say, I buy the grapes, pick out 12 of the smallest grapes, and then they don't take so much chewing. Muy importante el champán or cava. Yeah, it's very important. Or sidra, if you don't really like cava or champagne. Go for the cider, the bottles of cider, which are like champagne bottles. And then, as I say, all eyes will be, whereas in England all eyes, or Britain all eyes will be on Big Ben. In Spain all eyes will be on El Reloj in the Puerta del Sol de Madrid. After you've eaten your grapes, drunk your champagne, you have to get off on the right foot. So wherever you move from, make sure it's your right foot that you step out with. And if you want financial luck, for the rest of the year, for 2022, for 2022, don't forget your sopa de lentejas. There's lots of recipes on the internet. It's very easy. It's a lovely meal, actually, when especially when it's cold. I mean, it's not going to be cold this year in Spain. Apparently, we're going to have the warmest New Year's Eve ever. which is nice. So yeah, have your sopa de lentejas, and hopefully that'll bring you financial luck to go with all the rest of the luck that you've got from getting off on the right foot and eating your grapes. This is a tradition. Yeah. Okay, well, whatever you decide to do, I hope you have a great time. Let's hope that 2022, well, we've been saying this for a while. Well, 2021 was better than 2020. 2022 hopefully will be better again once we get through the winter and the Omicron variant. We've all got our boosters. Hopefully then when it comes to springtime, leading up to summertime, things will get easier again. So they've been easier this year a little bit, and then hopefully next year they'll be easier again. It's a bit worrying about the early part of the year. There may be some lockdowns in Britain or here even, who knows, but I don't think they'll be for long. Winter obviously is going to be the most difficult time, and once everyone getting together for Christmas, New Year, there's going to be problems. But anyway, let's hope primavera, springtime, it'll all be different. And próximo año, maybe I'll actually be celebrating at a party. Okay, muchas gracias por todo este año. Thank you for everything this year. Vuestro apoyo es muy importante para mí. Your support is very important for me. And que tu Dios vaya contigo. Y te veo próximo año. I'll see you next year. Muchas gracias. Salud.